I'm sure the person I'm going to call now will corroborate with what I have said. Is a very wonderful gentleman who is representing the Honourable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, represented by Mr. Obafemi Bajomo, SSA to the Honourable Minister on FDI and CIP, Foreign Direct Investment. Please make welcome Mr. Obafemi Bajomo. Please, a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir.
Careful. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And I bring greetings from my principal, Barrister Festus Keyamo, SAN, CON, and FCIAB, who would have loved to be here, but is unavoidably absent. As you all know, he's dealing with matters of national priority. Currently, he's in Lome in an ATTAC conference, but he would have really loved to be here. So just to give a brief synopsis as to how we got here, I think the partnership between the Federal Ministry of Aviation and Boeing dated back, to my knowledge, 2.5 years ago when we first came on board under this new administration. And at the time, the minister had reached out to the airline operators, and I noticed there were lots of envoy that was led by Professor Okonkwo, who is the chairman of United, and also Alan Oyema. And we started off on a very good note. And what were the questions? We asked ourselves, what can we do to drive progress and create a sustainable aviation ecosystem for Nigeria at the time? So there were a slew of issues that were identified at the time. And I think one thing we should credit this administration and that of the Honourable Minister is the political will, okay? The minister is what you call a king's counsel, is a lawyer, he's not an aviator. But I believe that in his infinite wisdom, he was able to see through the sector and see the issues that had since plagued the sector. So we started working with Boeing, and at the time we worked with the Aviation Working Group, which now culminated in the signing of an MOU and a working agreement, a working together agreement, and the rest was history. And this is what we're celebrating today. So I have a speech from the Honourable Minister, which is a goodwill message, and I will limit myself to the script because, again, if I'm standing in the position of the Honourable Minister, there are policy statements that might be made. So permit me to stick to the script. And also, I would like to stand on existing protocol. Permit me to do that as well. But I would also like to identify and acknowledge the people in the room. And that will be the Consular General of the United States, Rick Spott. Thank you so much, and thank you for all you've been doing. Nigeria and United States, we have a long-standing relationship, and our prayer is to foster that relationship. And also, I would also like to acknowledge the CEOs in the room, in person of my big brother, Professor Okonkwo, who is the chairman, and also my other big brother, the MD of ValueJet, Captain Maje Kodumi, and also my other big brother, the CEO of United, Mazi. Thank you, Osita. Thank you so much for all you do, sir. And my other big brother. It gives me an immense pleasure to join the board management, staff, and stakeholders of United Nigeria Airlines on this historic occasion. If we're coming in here today, again, we're building capacity. Several empirical studies have indicated that the aviation sector will grow globally, exponentially. And I believe Nigeria, the way we are today, and all the bold policy reforms that this administration and the Honourable Minister has undertaken has opened up the market. Of a particular interest will be the Cape Town Convention. Nigeria, 18 months ago, domesticated and ratified the Cape Town Convention and its protocol. And we didn't only stop there. We took it further again also to do an advisory circular on the IDERA. And After that, again, we reviewed all repressive policies that was holding back the aviation sector. And having done all that, what we are achieving today, we've seen a market that has opened up, meaning that we're driving investment into the country. A lot of lessors, we've been able to restore lessor confidence, and we've been able to bring one of the largest lessor in the world, like AirCap, back to Nigeria after 10 years. So when you look at all this improvement and all this new development coming out from the aviation sector, we might argue that we need to build capacity as to our men and women, our service industry provider, those that we stand ready, okay, to be able to serve the aviation sector. So what Boeing has been doing in accordance with our existing MOU, one of the pillars, like Mo has rightly said, is training. Training, building capacity, technology transfer, increasing capacity in terms of technical knowledge and technology for our operators, our engineers, and our service provider in the industry is one of the key things that Boeing has been doing. And we really thank the Boeing management and the Boeing company for doing that. And also, in terms of driving investments, again, there have been a lot of policy reforms in the country that have been backed by this current administration. All this policy direction have done something that has opened up the industry. So Nigeria is in the cusp of standing ready, making sure it has the technical capacity, the human capital, as well as the industry to accept all these nuances that are coming its way. So I really appreciate the efforts of the industry player, especially the AON, and also the airline operators. They've been working closely with the Honourable Minister's office. And one of the things that I can tell you that we have a minister who is very ready and open to suggestion and is ready to use his affiliated power to make sure that things get done. And a lot of things we've been able to achieve under this administration, all thanks goes to Mr. President, because Mr. President has been very, very instrumental in driving all of this initiative. And of a particular interest will be the PBEC initiative that is being managed out of the office of the Vice President, which is the Presidential Economic Enabling Business Council. What the PBEC does is we look at repressive policies that are holding back any of the sectors. It could be oil and gas, it could be technology, it could be aviation, it could be agriculture. And what PBEC has been doing is to ensure that we get rid of repressive policies and look at ways on how we can drive investment and make Nigeria an enabling environment. So I congratulate the AON operators that are here today, and also the engineers in the room and the service providers and operators, and also our strategic partner, Boeing Company, for all you're doing. Be rest assured that you have the unwavering commitment of the Honourable Minister. And I believe that the quest for a sustainable aviation ecosystem for Nigeria is our collective interest. Let's all put hands on deck and work together and make Nigeria a greater nation. Thank you so much, and thank you so much.